The Gambia, officially the Republic of the Gambia, is a country in West Africa. It is the smallest country within mainland Africa, and is surrounded by Senegal, except for its western coast on the Atlantic Ocean. The Gambia is situated on both sides of the lower reaches of the Gambia River, the nation's namesake, which flows through the center of the Gambia and empties into the Atlantic Ocean. It has an area of 10,689 square kilometers with a population of 1,857,181 as of the April 2013 census. Banjul is the Gambian capital and the country's largest metropolitan area. The largest cities are Serekunda and Brikma. The Gambia shares historical roots with many other West African nations in the slave trade, which was the key factor in the placing and keeping of a colony on the Gambia River. First by the Portuguese, during which era it was known as a Gambia. Later, on the 25th of May 1765, the Gambia was made a part of the British Empire when the government formally assumed control, establishing the Gambia Colony and Protectorate. In 1965, the Gambia gained independence under the leadership of Dawda Jawara, who ruled until Yahya Jammeh seized power in a bloodless 1994 coup. Adama Barrow became the Gambia's third president in January 2017, after defeating Jammeh in the December 2016 elections. Jammeh initially accepted the results, then refused to accept them, which triggered a constitutional crisis and military intervention by the Economic Community of West African states, resulting in his exile. The Gambia's economy is dominated by farming, fishing and, especially, tourism. In 2015, 48.6% of the population lived in poverty. In rural areas, poverty is even more widespread, at almost 70%. The name, Gambia, is derived from the Mandinka term Kambra, Kamba, meaning Gambia River. Upon independence in 1965, the country used the name the Gambia. Following the proclamation of a republic in 1970, the long-form name of the country became Republic of the Gambia. The administration of Yahya Jammeh changed the long-form name to Islamic Republic of the Gambia in December 2015. On the 29th of January 2017, President Adama Barrow changed the name back to Republic of the Gambia. The Gambia is one of a very small number of countries for which the definite article is commonly used in its English language name, other than cases in which the name is plural or includes the form of government. The article is also officially used by the country's government and by international bodies. The article was originally used because the region was named for the Gambia. In 1964, shortly prior to the country's independence, then Prime Minister Dawda Jawara wrote to the Permanent Committee on Geographical Names for British official use requesting that the name, the Gambia, retain the definite article, in part to reduce confusion with Zambia, which had also recently become independent. At present, both Gambia and the Gambia are in common use. Arab traders provided the first written accounts of the Gambia area in the 9th and 10th centuries. During the 10th century, Muslim merchants and scholars established communities in several West African commercial centers. Both groups established trans-Saharan trade routes, leading to a large export trade of local people as slaves, along with gold and ivory, as well as imports of manufactured goods. By the 11th or 12th century, the rulers of kingdoms such as Takrur, ancient Ghana and Gao had converted to Islam and had appointed to their courts Muslims who were literate in the Arabic language. At the beginning of the 14th century, most of what is today called the Gambia was part of the Mali Empire. The Portuguese reached this area by sea in the mid-15th century and began to dominate overseas trade. In 1588, the claimant to the Portuguese throne, Antonio, Prior of Crato, sold exclusive trade rights on the Gambia River to English merchants. Letters patent from Queen Elizabeth I confirmed the grant. In 1618, King James I of England granted a charter to an English company for trade with the Gambia and the Gold Coast, having been bought by Prince Jacob Kettler. The colonies were formally ceded to England in 1664. During the late 17th century and throughout the 18th century, the British Empire and the French Empire struggled continually for political and commercial supremacy in the regions of the Senegal River and the Gambia River. The British Empire occupied the Gambia when an expedition led by Augustus Keppel landed there. following the capture of Senegal in 1758. The 1783 First Treaty of Versailles gave Great Britain possession of the Gambia River. But the French retained a tiny enclave at Olbrea on the river's north bank. This was finally ceded to the United Kingdom in 1856. As many as 3 million people may have been taken as slaves from this general region during the 3 centuries that the transatlantic slave trade operated. It is not known how many people were taken as slaves by intertribal wars or Muslim Terror.